Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we'll be having a look at Render Token or Render Network. So what exactly is Render Network? Render Token or Render Network is a high-performance distributed GPU rendering network that is built on Octane Render, the world's first and fastest GPU accelerated unbiased physically correct renderer by OTOY Inc. The network facilitates a compute and virtual asset NFT marketplace between nodes, operators, and requesters. Now, as for OTOY Academy Awards, winning technologies used by leading visual effects studios, artists, animators, designers, and architects and engineers, providing unprecedented creativity freedom, new levels of realism, and new economics in content creation and distribution that is powered by the cloud. OTOY was founded in 2008. Since then, the company has grown to over 60 employees across 4 offices with headquarters in Los Angeles, California. RNDR held its public sale in October 2017. Now, the RNDR network launched and has been fully operational since April 2020. So you might be wondering, what is RNDR? Well, that's the native token of the network, which is actually quite exciting because I do graphics designing, I do animation, I do 3D designing. So I'm really interested in this token itself. This is actually something that caught my attention the moment it was sent to me. And I was actually told about this token on one of my YouTube streams. I can't remember who told me about this token, but thank you for letting me know about this token because it's been fantastic just to learn about this token. Right now, the token is actually sitting at $6.63 per coin. Now, this token does not have a small supply. It has a large supply, max supply over 536 million coins. And in circulating supply, that's 172 million in circulating supply. So we know that RNDR is a visual rendering network, but what you probably didn't know is it's a decentralized VFX rendering network. Artists and creators from anywhere around the world can use this network to render their creations in a fraction of time, cost, and without spending money on costly hardware. It allows for anyone to have the power of limitless creativity at the touch of a button. So the entire network is based on a renderer known in the Hollywood VFX space as Octane Render. RNDR is the decentralized distributed version of that allows for this super speed rendering. So this is actually accomplished by using state-of-the-art technology for distributed GPU compute, and that's all built by RNDR themselves. They use the blockchain to coordinate artists and node operators to make sure that operators are paid fairly for their time, and so that artists consistently have GPUs available for them. What problems do RNDR solve? And this is very important. So fundamentally, RNDR solves a coordination problem. And in terms of a supply-demand problem, it allows for people with various desires, hardware resources to work together to market mechanics. Now, people for the first time ever can essentially rent GPU time from their peers. This also helps to address worldwide GPU shortages that we're currently seeing today due to the overwhelming force in cryptocurrency mining. GPU graphics card, they have been sold out and they've been getting exceedingly expensive over the last few years, and the demand has been crippling for the industry. The manufacturers cannot keep up with the orders, and the customers, the regular customers who just want to build a gaming PC or build a PC for animation or graphics designing or personal work or 3D work, people like that, they're struggling to get hold of these graphics cards because they've become so expensive, and to be honest, they're short on supplies. So it's hard to find them for one, and when you do find them, it's exceedingly expensive because the value of these graphics cards has just risen to all-time new heights because of their usefulness in the world of cryptocurrency mining. and there isn't any immediate solution that I can see in the near future. However, something like RNDR actually helps to solve this problem, because now you don't really need a powerful GPU to do your own rendering of your own project, maybe an animation or 3D design content. You can actually use RNDR GPU, cloud GPU, to actually render your project, your content, whatever that might be. Now, people can get access to a resource that they really need for the first time in their day-to-day work life as easily as this. This also means that coordinating GPU power this way, they're actually more efficient with the hardware they have today, because when you have a powerful graphics card, the rest of your computer needs to be powerful as well. That's fundamental. But with the cloud GPU, you actually don't necessarily need a super powerful computer. All you need to make sure is that your project is completed in the fashion that you hope it to be, and you use the GPU rendering to do that. So actually you could accomplish this on a very low-end computer or laptop, because it's not the laptop or computer that's doing the work anymore. It's actually the work will be done on the cloud GPU processing. And that's not based on your computer. It's based in server rooms. It's based in the cloud. And that's what the clouds is. It's server rooms, it's computers, it's powerful computers. Somewhere in the world that's probably cold, so they keep the cost down on heat, on heating and stuff like that. But you get the point. Most people get the point. So how does RNDR use blockchain technology? That's a big question. Big question. So for the last pilot mainnet release year, RNDR uses blockchain to facilitate the payment and registering of jobs on the network between artists and nodes operators. So this year, after seeing network stability, they're starting to expand the ecosystem. Layer 2 was the first step in this, but very soon they'll be launching a full suite of NFT tools for creating NFT archive using RNDR. Now, their first test was with the prominent Marvel comic book artist Alex Ross, and they were continuing to focus on this tool set as they moved forward. So many people might not know this, but many prominent NFT artists today, they use RNDR/Octane for their artwork. And they want to support this by helping build the essential museum grade archival system for these works so they don't get lost. So how does RNDR involve the creation of NFTs? So prior to the actual creation of NFT, on-chain itself, the actual underlying network or creation is designed and then exported to be rendered. Now, for those unfamiliar with the process, think of a design where you film green screen shots in a movie and rendering in part, where they all add a CGI part to make it into the epic Marvel or DC superhero movie. You know, these things, they take a lot of computing power. So for NFT to process it the same, the artists have to export their work and then render it. They can do so either locally with which takes forever, basically on their own computer, or they can do it on RNDR, which takes a fraction of the time. That's actually brilliant because it helps a lot of people. A lot of people who are publishing their NFT and exporting their NFT, they're using RNDR to do so. So once they have their final production of images or movie files, they can take that and then upload it into an NFT. Whatever platform they choose, so many NFTs that you see today on platforms at some point had been rendered. And to be honest, they were actually slowly discovering most of them were done on RNDR. It's fascinating that this has been happening, and it hasn't had the overwhelming support and recognition that it truly deserves. So basically, they're the core of NFT creation process, and they want to extend this with the RNDR archive even further. They just recently did a layer 2 transactions, and they were wrapping up the completion of transaction. They had the guided in places for knowledge base and Telegram admin and the support and scaling assistant as well. So they wanted to bring all creators to the network in as many industries as possible. And there's a lot of industry that could use this technology for a lot of good things. So it's also their second biggest release, now with the support of the Ampere NVIDIA card or 30s series cards, which are basically the 3060s, 3070s, and 3080s and 3090s. Really powerful cards and really expensive. Some of the most in demand cards, actually. So this also means that they're able to bring other industries, renderers to the system, now like Autodesk Arnolds, which is used heavily in construction, automotive, and mechanical engineering design. So part of this plans to include the NFT archive and tooling around creation, this content and preserving it. Now hopefully allowing artists to have a rock solid base for their work, much longer terms. They're looking to build the next era of content creation with likes NFT streaming and render streams. So in terms of companies that R&D are partners with or work with, they work with many industry leaders and experts in VFX spaces, ranging from Netflix, Marvel, to hardware providers like Google and Apple. Now, very recently, they launched a Octane X with Apple on the App Store to get Octane in the hands of many more users. So on more blockchain side, they're constantly getting requests from more and more artists to work with them and to feature suggestions which they listen to and they try to incorporate all the time. So this is brilliant that they're listening to artists and they want to follow artists' direction in this, because artists usually have quite heavy demands when it comes to creation. But it's nice to see that they can listen and they can actually work towards benefiting artists, which is long term. What this project is focused on is helping artists and people who need to render big files in a short period of time. So how can we become a part of R&DR? Well, very easily, you can check out the guides on the knowledge base for becoming part of the R&DR as either a creator or a node operator. So what are the most exciting things about R&DR and NFTs and blockchain in the next few years? And it gets even more exciting because we don't really know where the space is going. It's so recent. R&DR, NFT, you know, this crazy world where we live in now, where cryptocurrency mining has driven up the crazy, insane value of graphics card. We have no idea where this world is going. The natural material that's needed for graphics card, for electric cards, for so many technology, for so many technological devices that we use in our everyday life. Well, these resources, they need to be mined somehow, and these machines, they need to be manufactured somehow. So we're actually in new waters, new territory. We have no idea how these industries are going to react with the change in time and the change in tides. You know, we have no idea, but it's actually quite exciting because we're going to get problems, we're going to get solutions, we're going to get a lot of interesting things that are happening in the world of technology in the next few years, simply because technology is evolving so quickly that it's not that we can't keep up with it anymore. We can keep up with it, but how do we supply the huge demand that is going on right now, especially with the creation of NFT? You know, people need to render their files much faster, but R&DR is on the perfect track to helping to supply this demand, this crazy demand that is. So there's more information on their website, their knowledge base, on their technology and how to get involved with their technology and how their technology works. Now, around the 8th of November, there's actually big news, an announcement with Render Network. Key announcements and key integration with Solana and Metaplex. So what exactly is this? Because I'm a big fan of Solana. I do follow Solana quite a lot, and I like to understand this quite a bit more. So they're excited to announce that a new technical roadmap to bring the core components of the network infrastructure to Solana, starting with a partnership with Metaplex, a decentralized protocol and a set of open standard for digital asset issuance and ownership on chain. The mission for the Render Network has always been to create toolsets and technological infrastructures to realize the promise of an open metaverse. So the core function of Render Network to date has been to utilize and distribute GPU resources across a distributed network, consumer-grade devices. So this has made it possible for artists to access the compute power necessary to build rich, immersive worlds with high fidelity at a scale and speed previously unattainable. So, however, access to the compute power is only at a starting point. provenance and exchanges of digital assets, incredible neutral environment are core to the ethos of an open metaverse. A shared, persistent environment requires strong guarantees around ownership, decentralization across every possible layer of the stack. So the core developers of the Render network assessed that Solana is the most programmable and secure underlying infrastructure for its future development plans as it comes to scale and to take a massive metaverse scale rendering job. Through a deep integration with both Solana and Metaplex, Render network can become a platform where users can value IP, art, tools that can be issued and owned natively on Solana, with distribution and monetization functions provided directly through Metaplex with just one click. So the Render network has been for the forefront of the NFT movement, used by many of the leading 3D crypto artists, accounting for over $500 million in the NFT sale in 2021. Recently, Render have worked on a metaverse archive spanning the works of Alex Ross, the legendary Marvel and DC comic book artist, Beeple, one of the most renowned NFT artists who sold like the biggest piece in NFT history, I think it was, helped to pioneer the everyday art movement, and Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek, all preserving a lifetime of their creation on the blockchain for future generations to experience. This is actually quite exciting. So over time, all creatives, compositions, and published work passing through the Render network will natively be archived on chain with simple options to export portable metaverse content, art, mint NFT based on them, and issue them immediately on Metaplex with maximum fidelity and interactivity. This pipeline combines with novel form of coordination around artists and NFT, fractionalized ownership, novel auction mechanism, and DAO, decentralized autonomous organizations. The base coordination tools presents only a few of the primitives being built over NFTs, which enables more streamlined and powerful experience for artists, IP holders, and digital creators. So there you have it for yourself, and big integration with Solana. This is huge because they chose Solana as their words, because Solana underlying programming seems the best. It is the best. It's the most fruitful, and it looks like it's the most beneficiary platform to integrate with. And I agree, because Solana is a big platform and it's growing. It's a great platform that is growing. It's really fruitful, because when you think about it, the amount of dApps that are being built on Solana, people are not just going to Solana because of the hype. They're going to Solana because it's easy to build on Solana. It's good to build on Solana. Now, like I was saying before, the token is $6.64. We haven't really focused too much on the price, but lately the price has been doing really well. If you have a look in the last 3 months, actually around the start of November is where the price took a turn for the better. You know, once it hit above $1.30, $1.40, it hasn't been back down that low ever since. It's just been rising. And obviously, I'm not surprised, because this technology is extremely useful. This is not financial advice, but this crypto is probably one of the most promising cryptocurrency that you'll probably ever see in your life. And it's decentralized as well. That is brilliant. But the growth of this crypto, you can expect this growth to be exponential, because the use case of this technology is so useful. It is extremely useful, and the fact that it's being built, and the fact that it's being integrated in Solana, and the fact that it's going to be integrated into Solana, it makes me more excited. It makes me extremely excited, because looking at these numbers alone, you can see that this crypto is going to do well in the future. Not just because it's got a lot of volume and it's got a lot of hype right now. Actually, I don't think it has a lot of hype right now. I don't hear a lot of people talking about this crypto, but one day they will. But these are probably the best days for this crypto, because the price is actually relatively cheap. It was a lot cheaper before November, of course. That's how the market works. Even without doing a full in-depth price analysis, because I don't need to do a full in-depth price analysis, if it's not obvious to you that this crypto will be absolutely mega in the future, an absolute hit, It will do extremely well compared to where it is right now. This is definitely a 100x crypto. And I hope you can see that for yourself. So thank you for watching. Subscribe. I really love this crypto. I'm going to look into it even more. Subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, join our Discord server. And of course, I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching.